lecture is entitled Sex Hormones and the Hormonal Regulation of Sexual Behavior by Dr. Bev Knox. According to the National Library of Medicine, sexual behavior is a hormonally regulated, innate social behavior found across species. Although both sexes seek out and engage in sexual behavior, the specific actions involved in mating are sexually dimorphic. Thus, the neural circuits mediating sexual motivation and behavior in males and females are overlapping yet distinct. Furthermore, sexual behavior is strongly dependent on circulating gonadal hormones in both sexes. Now, in regards to the hormonal regulation of sexual behavior, sexual behaviors are often conceptualized into two categories: appetitive and consummatory. Jennings, 2020. Appetitive sexual behavior entails actions that increase the likelihood of mating to occur and are thought to reflect sexual motivation. Consummatory sexual behavior entails the act of mating itself and is highly sexually dimorphic. Sexual behavior in both sexes is strongly regulated by circulating concentrations of gonadal steroid hormones, including androgens, testosterone, estrogens, estradiol, and progesterone. The main categories of sex hormones are androgens, more prevalent in biological males, of which testosterone is a primary example, and estrogens, more prevalent in biological females, of which estradiol is a primary example. It is important to note that all individuals have both androgens, male hormones, and estrogens, female hormones, but the relative proportion of the hormones present in a given body varies, usually correlated with biological sex. According to Baum, 2025, testosterone is secreted by the testes in males and in small amounts by the ovaries in females, although most is converted to estradiol. A small amount of testosterone is also secreted by the adrenal glands, endocrine glands positioned on top of the kidneys, in both sexes. Estrogens are secreted by the ovaries in females and by fat cells in both sexes. Male and female reproductive systems are different at birth due to differences in primary sex characteristics, but the gonads, testes in males and ovaries in females, are immature and incapable of producing gametes, sperm in males and eggs in females, or sex hormones. Maturation of the reproductive system occurs during puberty, when hormones from the hypothalamus and pituitary gland stimulate the testes or ovaries to start producing sex hormones again. Sex hormones, in turn, lead to the growth and maturation of the reproductive organs, rapid body growth, and the development of secondary sex characteristics, such as pubic and underarm hair in both sexes, facial hair in males, and breasts in females. Hormones can influence behavior, and behavior can sometimes influence hormone concentrations. Hormones travel through the blood, influencing the nervous system to regulate an individual's behaviors, some of which are related to sexuality and reproduction, such as aggression, mating, and parenting. Now the question is, how might hormones affect behavior? While hormones do not cause behavioral changes, they influence the components that interact to produce behavior: sensory systems, input, the central nervous system, integration, and muscles and glands, output. In this manner, specific stimuli are more likely to elicit certain responses in the appropriate behavioral or social context. In other words, hormones change the probability that a particular behavior will occur in the appropriate situation. Nelson, 2011. This is a critical distinction that can affect how we think of hormone-behavior relationships. In those cases, hormones can be considered to affect behavior by influencing any or all of these components. Please be advised, this is an educational, academically sound psychology course by Dr. Bev Knox for adult student learners. Lecture content include discussions and representations of human sexuality, theoretical perspectives on sexuality, sex research, sexual anatomy, sex hormones, sexual arousal, attraction and love theories, gender and sexuality, sexual orientation, variations in sexual behavior, sexual coercion, sex for sale, sexual disorders, and sex therapy, ethics and religion on sexuality, and sex laws. Before beginning the course, please be mindful of your capacity to witness and respond to videos, books, and images of this content material.